Hi, it's Max from Rainbow Power. And today I've got a very special guest, ex-Rainbow employee, member of the board of directors, absolute titan of the solar industry, Nigel Morris from Catch. Now, Nigel, we've talked previously about how good inverter technology has become in the last few years, that whole home backup capability, the new battery chemistry and technology as well, with excellent energy density, high voltage stackable batteries that are expandable. What if you want to take your home to the next level and start automating when things come on based on your solar excess? What's the solution?
Well, Max, it's funny you ask, because 34 years ago when I was working in this showroom and looking after Rainbow customers, one of the most common questions I used to get was, I'm not sure if my system's working properly, and how do I make things happen? How do I make sure that I'm using the most of my solar when it makes most sense? And that stuck with me my whole solar career. And I have ended up in the space working for software and hardware companies, including companies like Catch Power, who make this little widget that is actually designed to solve exactly those issues.
So your previous company, Solar Analytics, I had that running on my system. It gave me much better data than my inverter manufacturer's portal did. It had features like plan optimizer, battery calculator, all of that stuff. Now, Catch saw what Solar Analytics was doing, and they were coming from a hardware space. So I've got the old analog green Catch Power installed at my place, which diverts excess solar into my old-fashioned off-peak hot water system. That worked great, but they were starting to move into a software solution, and you had that. So they've basically acquired Solar Analytics.
That's right. It was actually a match made in heaven, because the guys from Catch Power, based in Glen Innes, actually, our factory is in Glen Innes, where we make these little widgets, and they've been really focused on building hardware that solved these technology problems. They wanted to build something that could divert energy, that could control major loads in the house, that could act as a meter, and they built a wonderful, wonderful piece of technology. Alongside that, Solar Analytics were busy in the software space, building software that allowed us to do things that owners want to do. Am I on the best retail plan, for example? Is now the right time to add a battery, and how big should it be? So we developed algorithms and software tools to answer a load of those sorts of things. And in the last year, we've merged these two companies together and now have some of the best capabilities in the world in a locally made device with a locally made crew of software developers. It's a fantastic story.
I can speak personally to how much money I saved by installing Catch. I got this beautiful big solar system. It was great. My bills were way down, but I was still paying for controlled load. I was still paying to heat my hot water at night. And I thought, this is madness. I was $50 a month in the hot water bill. I installed a Catch, and the very next month, my hot water bill was $1.50. So that's the difference that Catch can make to your system. Now, the one I bought, the old analog system, they were pretty expensive. They were about $1,000. What are we looking at for the new Catch control?
About half the price, depending on your situation. So dramatically reduced. Was one of our goals, actually, was let's try and drive the price down, and we've gone up in scale now. So we've been able to bring the price down. But what we also wanted to do was really move from analog to the full digital world, and just make a small device that can do a lot of things. So this one device is an energy meter to measure consumption, production, loads, whatever it is you want. And it actually replaces a standard inverter consumption meter. So we substitute, which helps reduce the cost of the hardware even more. But more importantly, it's also a load controller. So what we can now do is connect to a load, a hot water system, a pool pump, an air conditioner, an electric vehicle, any major load where you really want to make sure that it's only operating from excess solar. We now have the hardware to match the software that allows us to do that. We can even go one step further, Max, and now start to trade your energy from your batteries for wholesale trade with companies like Amber, for example.
Oh, so it's compatible with Smart Shift now?
It's compatible with Smart Shift and Amber. So
Excellent.
we can not only manage the loads, manage the solar, manage the battery, give you a wonderful dashboard, give you a whole lot of software tools to help you make intelligent financial decisions, but we can also trade that energy for you.
Yeah, nice.